Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're back on Project Cars 2 and we're back with the Actrollvision weekly time trial event. It's week number 22 and we're driving the Mercedes touring car around Sugo, a track that I've literally just learned 20 minutes before actually doing this lap. So we're nowhere near up to speed, but I feel like I've got the basics of the track learned. It's just about starting to understand where you can push a little bit more and take away probably the final second to a second and a half off the lap we've done now. The lap's okay, but like I say, I've just jumped on. You'll be able to see if you go onto the Steam leaderboards. I've just done it on the day that I think this time it was about 20 minutes before I started editing the video. So hopefully you guys are going to be able to push this a lot more. If I do get a chance to go back on, I will do, but at the moment obviously I'm doing a lot of FIA races on GT Sport, so we're really pushing them hard at the moment. So whether I'll get back on or not, I'm not too sure, but I do enjoy driving this touring car. The setup I took was from the top person setup. He'd hit a lap, I think it was about a second quicker than what we did here. The setup drives reasonably nice. I just had to make it a little less understeery. It probably needs a little bit more work to make it a little bit more so you can drive it a bit harder. It did tend to feel a bit understeery, but it felt like it had a lot of grip, so I just went with that and just altered a few things, and I think there's more stuff that you could alter to make it a little bit more attackable into some of these corners and take quite a bit of time off. We'll talk about that when we get through to the setup. So we'll go through a very quick track guide and point out some things that some guys might be able to find helpful when it comes to doing this time trial event. So going through the last corner, one thing I will advise is the lap is best done on the second lap. So do your out lap, like treat it like an out lap, your first lap, and then start your lap properly. You can see on the first lap we did actually beat the Ghost, because this was only pretty much one of our first runs on the game. We just beat the Ghost with our first lap and then decided to go for another lap over the line, and you can see instantly, look how you pull away from the Ghost, you gain a lot of time. Braking hard down into third gear, try not to take too much speed into the corner and get a wide exit into this corner, attacking the curb. What I've learned is, so far from the brief time I spent on the car, this track, you can really take a lot of the curbs and the car will bite in on the curb. So down into second gear for this corner, again try and stay really tight to that corner, don't let it run too far wide or the camber will take you off. You can attack these curves really hard in third gear, and then again coming up to this corner up ahead, you're going to go back down to third gear, again try and get that car over that right hand side on the curb, and again for this tight right hand corner. So I think that staying in third gear is the best bet and just getting on the power as early as you can. Just be careful not to run too far to the left hand side there. You can see we're ahead of the previous the Ghost that we had beat already, but I think we're slightly ahead of the first lap that we did also. Going down into this tight right hander, you really need to get the car as close to that apex as possible and hit that curb. If you don't, the camber will just drag you off wide and you will lose a lot of time. Then going through to this fast left hand corner, staying in third gear there, use some of the curb on the right side into fourth, and then again attack the curbs and use all the width of the track, and then coming through to the final corner, I go into fifth gear briefly and then back down to fourth gear, because if you stay in fifth gear the car will slow down and start bogging down and you lose a lot of time. So that's how I did that, pretty much flat out in fourth gear on that final corner, then work your way up the hill and then over the line, and we go for a 1 minute 26.6. It's in the top 10 on the leaderboard, but like I say, I think I've done about, I learned the track briefly for about 15 minutes, and then we spent about 20 minutes just trying to get a lap in. So we did 2 laps on the road there, as you can see, and they were reasonably okay. So I think you guys will be able to push this well into the 1 minute 25s. I'd say that's what my guess would be. Maybe a low 25 would be possible with this car. So let's have a little look at the setup and what we did. We obviously loaded the setup that was on the top of the leaderboard, but we made some changes. I did lower the brake pressure very slightly and put more brake pressure, the balance towards the rear of the car, because he had it on 65, I think, so you could probably go even further than that. I also adjusted the steering ratio and the ride height slightly on the rear to make more of a rake on the car, and I added more front camber because it was very understeery. So I did a few basic changes. I would also probably consider changing the toe angle on the back tyres to less than minus 0.5, because it felt like too grippy. I needed a bit more turn in on the corner, so that's something you guys can do. I didn't touch any of the settings that he had on the suspension. It felt okay on there. It just needs a bit more turn in, so you'll be able to probably create that with the cambers and the toe angles and stuff. You might even be able to try 1 on the aero. I didn't try it, I just left it on 2. 1 might be perfectly okay for this track. It feels like this car's got a lot of grip. I did change the power and coast ramps. You can see I think he had the coast ramp on the setup he used about 25-30, but it was creating too much understeer for me. I wanted to be able to lift off the throttle and the car to turn in the corners, so I upped it to 40. You might even be able to go higher than that. That's all that I changed pretty much. I think this car runs no traction control or ABS, so I didn't change any of that anyway. So anyway guys, I hope hope you enjoyed that lap and the setup. Obviously the lap can be pushed a lot harder than what we did there. That's just a very basic guide to this track, and I'm sure it'll help some people out, and I'm sure you'll be able to push this. My guess is that you're going to be needing to get to about a 125.3 or 4 to maybe 0.5, something like that, to be pushing this car close to its limits. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's time trial. If you want to take part, make sure you follow the links within the description for the Actrollvision Discord, and we'll be back with next week's TT event on next Wednesday. Thanks again for watching everyone, and make sure you sub the channel if you haven't already subbed. Click that notification button so you don't miss any future videos. Like I say, we'll be back with GT Sport, Project Cars 2 and Assetto Corsa very soon. Thanks again for watching everyone.